Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the City Update. I'm your host Mark Aaron, Multimedia Design Manager for the City of Danville. Today we're out on Cleveland Street in the heart of the Westmoreland community here in the City of Danville. Just 5 short years ago, the city decided to launch its Building Blocks program and chose the Westmoreland community as its first targeted area. The Building Blocks program was focusing on decreasing crime in the community, increasing home ownership, and just improving the overall look and feel of this community. We feel we have succeeded in that effort, and on today's show we're going to highlight those successes. We'll talk with Diane Morris, who is our Director of Housing and Development Division of our Community Development Department here in the City of Danville. She spearheaded those efforts along with many other departments here in the City of Danville. And we'll also talk with Edith Wilson, who is the President of the Westmoreland Neighborhood Association. That strong association has played a pivotal role in the success of the Building Blocks program, and they were actually one of the reasons why the city chose this area as its first targeted area. We talked about increasing home ownership as one of the goals of this program. We have seen a 62% increase in home ownership in this community, and also have seen 50% fewer rental units here in this area. So as you can see, the numbers show that we have succeeded in this area. As you can see, landscaping has improved. We've got new sidewalks, curb and gutters installed by our Public Works Department, all through federal funds, HUD grants, and also some local matching CIP funds as well to make all of this happen. We also have some homes for sale still in this community, and Diane Morris will take us on a tour of a couple of those homes, a rehabbed home on Ross Street, and also a brand new Energy Star home on Broad as well. So let's take you out now over to Broad and introduce you to Diane Morris. Well, joining me now is Diane Morris, who's our Director of Housing and Development within our Community Development Department. And Diane, thanks so much for taking the time to join us out on Broad Street here today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. It's a beautiful day.
And I know 5 years ago is when we launched the Building Blocks program and the revitalization of this area. Can you take us back that 5 years and tell us why we chose this area of the City of Danville to start this revitalization and Building Blocks program?
We chose this area because we saw a need, but it wasn't a neighborhood that was too far gone, but one that we thought could be brought back. We had an active neighborhood association. It's a very visible site and walkable to downtown and to Main Street, and the neighborhood residents worked well with us, and we thought it could be a win as a model to move on to other neighborhoods in the future.
Now, can you tell us logistically where we're at? We're on Broad, and what all is encompassed in the Building Blocks program here in this area?
Building Blocks, we had a lot of involvement from other departments within the city, not only housing and development, but Public Works was involved. We had outside agencies involved, the police department, the Virginia Housing Development Authority, Habitat for Humanity, City Beautiful, Danville Redevelopment and Housing Authority. A lot of players were a big piece of this to make this a win-win.
So how did we start? 5 years ago when you laid out the plan, what was the first thing, top priority on that list?
Top priority was to do an analysis, a lot-by-lot analysis. We wanted to reduce crime, we wanted to increase home ownership, and we wanted to make this a safe, affordable place to live. And we think we've accomplished those goals.
All right, let's break those down. Now, we want to make it a safe place to live. What did we do to accomplish that?
The police targeted this neighborhood and got rid of a lot of the bad element. There were some rental properties in here that weren't the most desirable, and as those became vacant, the city acquired those properties, renovated them, and they're now converted to home ownership.
Right. And as you mentioned, increasing home ownership, as I mentioned in my introduction, I think we have 60% fewer rental properties in the Building Blocks area now?
Yes, definitely. Right. Definitely. So you're seeing more pride in the neighborhood, people taking better care of their properties, and that's key.
Very good. Now, tell me a little bit about home ownership. You all have sold, I think, 3 or 4 homes in the last 6 or 8 months in this area.
Yes, we have, and we're very proud of that. We've raised the values of the neighborhood by building newer homes with increased values. We've created more mixed income for the neighborhood, which is also key. You're not just concentrating low income in one neighborhood, so it's creating a different culture, which is good.
I think the average sale price for the last 3 homes has been over $100,000.
It has, and we're very proud of that. We have new construction and renovated homes that have sold for that.
Tell me a little bit about your department's involvement in this area. Did you all purchase homes in the area and remodel some homes? Tell our viewers a little bit about
We
that.
have. We've purchased several homes in the neighborhood, and we've revitalized them ourselves, or we've partnered with Telamon Corporation or the Housing Authority, Habitat, and we've created home ownership opportunities by doing this.
Now, talk about the funding options that we use to fund all of these projects.
It's primarily U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD funds, that we've Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership Funds, and these fall under HUD. We're an entitlement community where we get X amount every year. Now, the city has put in a little bit of capital improvement funds, and you see those as well, and our local Danville Community Development Corporation, which is a consortium of all the banks here in town, has contributed as well.
Okay, I know they purchased one or two homes?
Two homes.
Okay, great.
Two homes. One's totally renovated and one's currently for sale.
Talk about the importance of having all those different funding options to make something like this happen.
It isn't going to happen if you don't have partnerships. The city can't do it all. Our financial resources aren't there, so you have to set up that partnership before you start investing in the neighborhood, and we did that, and we're proud of what we did.
Talk a little bit about the federal funding sources and how over the past couple of years those have really dwindled down, and it makes it even harder to do really what we've done in this neighborhood over the last few years.
That is a concern of ours, and as we move forward, the concern is growing. The federal funds have been going down each year, and with this next fiscal year, which begins July 1, we're taking a big hit, and it's going to impact our neighborhoods here in Westmoreland as we're wrapping up and as we're transitioning into the White Rock community.
Right, we want to talk about the White Rock community here shortly, but talk about, I know Public Works did a lot of improvements in this area over the last 5 years, weed abatement, sidewalk, curb and guttering.
They did all those. They did abandoned vehicles. They did on the vacant lots. They went in and cleared those out, got rid of a lot of the trash, cleared out kudzu, just maintained the lots in a much better condition, and with stimulus money, we were able to put in some sidewalks, curb and gutter, and additional. We also did street paving, some retaining walls, and you're going to see those, and it really turned out nice.
It really makes a huge difference in the community. Just those small things can make a
does.
huge difference.
All those things put together, it's amazing the turnaround this neighborhood has seen.
Now, talk about the community buy-in, because I know we're moving into the White Rock community for our second targeted area, but talk about the community buy-in here in the Westmoreland area and how important that was to make this project a success.
That's one reason we came to Westmoreland first. They had a strong neighborhood association. The president, Shirley Coles, who has passed away during this time, and which is a sad event, but we have another strong leader, Edith Wilson, and they've just been a key part of this. They've done neighborhood cleanups, they do outdoor activities, and we just feel without them promoting the initiatives and working with them, it wouldn't have been as good of a success as we have.
We're going to talk to Miss Wilson a little later in the show and how she's really taken the torch and run with it from Miss Coles as she passed away. But it's very important with community involvement in making these things a
You can't do
success.
it without them.
Right. Now, and you did mention they had a community cleanup day, I remember 3 or 4 years ago, where they really cleaned up the area.
One cleanup day, and they have another one scheduled for this month. So they're
Right.
just not letting this go. They're also acquiring a house over in the historic district, which is part of the Westmoreland neighborhood, that they're going to fix up themselves. They're going to be doing a community garden. So we have their buy-in 100%, and it's great.
But Diane, what have you been most proud of as you look back over the last 5 years on this project and as we move forward into another neighborhood here in the city? What have you been most proud of with the Building Blocks program?
I think the community buy-in has been great, but I'm just proud of actually seeing the physical results. If you see the befores of some of the houses and the after, some of the houses we've taken down and built new houses on the same site, it's just been a wonderful transition.
Well, we're very excited, and what we're going to do today, I know you have quite a few homes that are for sale still in this area, and we want to highlight those. We're going to take a tour of 2 of the homes and then also talk about 3 or 4 others that we have for sale in this area. But tell me a little bit about how many new homes do we have in this area? Do you know right offhand, and how many we actually rehabbed?
New homes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new homes. Okay. And we've rehabbed 19 or 20, I believe.
Do you know how many parcels total were in this area of the Building Blocks program?
72 parcels.
Well, you did mention earlier that we are moving to a new targeted area here in the city of Danville, the White Rock community. Now, for our viewers who may not be familiar with that area, where is that located here in the city of Danville?
It is over off Locust Lane. Part of it goes up Locust Lane. It goes over up to Wendell Scott, and it goes over to some of the streets, the White Rock area, and around the playground. And they, too, have an active neighborhood association, and they're working with us as we speak.
I know you've already started working that area. What's taking place there now?
We've done some infrastructure, some paving, curb, and gutter. We're starting to do rehabs, and we actually have a waiting list for those that are waiting to have their homes fixed up.
So if you live in that area and you'd like more information on the Building Blocks program, feel free to give Diane Morris a call at the number at the bottom of the screen and get more information about that. Well, Diane, what I'd like to do now is we'll take a tour of a couple of the homes that you have for sale over here on Broad and Ross Street in the Westmoreland area, and then we'll talk about a few of the more homes that you have for sale.
Great. Thanks very much.
Well, Diane, we've made it over to 357 Ross. Of course, we want to highlight a couple of the homes that you all have for sale.
Right.
And you mentioned Telemon Corporation is one of the partners that you have. Can you talk about some of the down payment incentives that they have?
Pre-purchase counseling as well as down payment assistance for income-qualified residents to purchase these homes that we've renovated. And it's a great deal. It can be up to $10,000 forgivable down payment assistance. Right. And as important as being a homeowner is, we do recommend that anyone receive pre-purchase counseling so they are fully aware of everything that comes with home ownership.
Now, what are some of the qualifications that you have to meet for home ownership?
Qualification is that you have to be 80% or below of median family income, and that's based on family size. So for one person, you cannot make over $29,950, and that goes up incrementally with each member of your family.
And Diane, for this home, there are some purchase qualifications that you have to meet, but not for all homes in the area.
Correct. It depends on the funds that we invested in the house, whether or not you have to be 80% or below of median family income. But we have some homes that there are no income restrictions, and that's how we're creating the mixed income.
All right, now tell me about this home. Was this one that we refurbished and the funds that went to?
We totally refurbished this with home federal funds, and it's a beautiful home inside. It's almost 1,800 square feet. It's listed for $99,900, and it's just awesome inside what we've done. So I'm anxious for you to see it.
Yeah, well, let's go take a look.
Mark, this is the first house we're going to see. Again, it's 357 Ross Street, and this is one that we purchased that was in need of renovation. We did outside improvements. As you can see, we have a nice little side porch here. And when you come in, you're going to see a lot of the indoor changes that we've made and to make it a lot more energy efficient as well. When you come in off the side porch, you're entering a nice dining room. We pulled up all the carpets and have redone the hardwood floors. We think that's a nice feature in that house. And from the separate dining room, we're going to walk into the kitchen. Kitchen turned out beautifully. I think you can see. It's real ceramic tile. We have energy efficient appliances, nice view out the back window, and we're really proud of the way the cabinetry turned out in this one. Now we're going to walk into the living room, which is, you can see, is nice size. We do have a workable fireplace, brick fireplace, which is a wonderful feature to have, especially since it is workable. It would be nice to have a nice warm fire during the winter months. And there's two ways to get back into the bedrooms. As you can see, we're coming into the bedrooms now. This one has a nice double closet. The bathroom, as you can see, turned out nicely. We have same type cabinets in the bathroom as we did in the kitchen, just a different type wood and lighter stain. The ceramic tiles and a nice surround tub with shelving. We try to incorporate a lot of features that we think that today's homeowner is looking for as we rehab these houses. Now we're going to go up to the second floor, which is the loft area. Has lots of storage. If you have a young family with children, great area with 2 rooms that can be used in bedrooms on either side of the play area, and it just turned out very nice. As you can see, we have Berber carpet on the stairway, and in the rooms up here, a ton of storage out here against the wall, and with a separate room on each end. It just turned out great. I think it would be great for a young family.
Well, Diane, we moved back over to Broad to a brand new home that you all have built here on Broad 327, and I think you said this is one of the first Energy Star, Energy Star homes?
It is. We're very proud of it. We got Energy Star rating for the entire house, which means it will be very energy efficient. Utility bills should be lower. And some of the things that we did do was conditioned crawl space, which means it will not let cold air up under the floors in your living area, and you won't have to worry about dampness or mold or anything coming in. We did the Hardy Board siding, which has a 50-year guarantee on it, where it does not fade like vinyl chip. It's termite. No termites can get into it, and it's a new product that's out. We did Energy Star appliances inside, windows, and as you can see, it's brand new, and it's a really cute house.
All right, now how many bedrooms, and what's the price listing with this?
Price list is $89,000, and it's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
Great. Well, it looks great from the outside. I love the landscaping that you all have done here, and you can see the brand new windows and a beautiful front porch. So I'm interested to see what the inside looks like.
Good. We're proud of it. Come on in. Okay, Mark, come on in. You're going to see our nice living area in here. We have the wood laminate flooring, which is very easy to clean and is attractive. Energy efficient ceiling fan in this room. And again, it's a nice size for the size house. The kitchen, again, we're proud of. It's an eat-in kitchen with a little deck off the back. It has its own pantry. Again, Energy Star appliances, nice white cabinets that kind of make the room look a little bigger. And it's a nice layout. So we think it's a cute kitchen and very usable for any family. Mark, this is one of our 3 bedrooms. As you can see, it's a nice layout. It's got a closet, Berber carpet again, which is in all 3 bedrooms. And as we go to the other rooms, you're going to have a single bathroom, washer dryer hookup behind doors on the right-hand side, and 2 more bedrooms down the hall. At the end of the hall is the master bedroom, and as you can see, it's slightly larger. We do have phone hookups in each of these rooms. We have a nice Energy Star ceiling fan, double closet, and we think it turned out very nicely.
Well, joining me now is Miss Edith Wilson, who is the president of the Westmoreland Neighborhood Association. And Miss Wilson, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today.
You're welcome.
And Miss Wilson, can you tell us a little bit about your involvement in the Westmoreland Neighborhood Association, and how many years have you been living here in this community?
We've been living here over 40-some years, 40 or maybe 50 years by now. But my involvement is I am the president of this organization in this area. I was vice president when we lost our president. So I'm the president now. And we're just trying to keep the neighborhood going.
Right, and you've done a great job with that. We're going to talk a little bit more about your involvement in the Building Blocks program here in the community. We talked to Diane Morris earlier in the show about the importance of having a strong neighborhood organization, and that was really one of the reasons why we chose this neighborhood to be our first pilot project for the Building Blocks program. And why is that so important? Why does your neighborhood feel that it's so important to have that strong bond to help this neighborhood grow?
Well, I think because we want our neighborhood to look good. That's number one. And we want to keep crime and a lot of stuff out that's not good in the neighborhood. Right. So I really, my hat goes off to Diane for helping us and seeing us as the target area, and we're glad about that. So so we've worked hard. We've worked hard trying to keep getting our neighbors involved, and we work to keep the program alive, because you know that's not easy these days.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about the improvements you've seen. You said you've been here almost 50 years, but especially over the last 5 years, the improvements you've seen in your community.
Oh, the paving of the streets, yes, gutters. In some areas there. What you call that? That's gutters.
Yeah. Gutters.
Yes. The fixing up of some abandoned houses, right, and some that are really, really, really bad, they are done away with, of course. But and lately our sidewalks, our new sidewalks, we are just so thrilled about our new sidewalks.
And you say you see children using the sidewalks
Yes,
now
we
in our
do now.
neighborhood.
Yes, at first they looked like they were afraid to step on it.
Yeah.
Thought maybe it was still wet, but now they're walking up the sidewalks, and I watch them. I can see them from my door, and they're walking up and riding their bicycles up.
And we've seen traffic coming through just during our interview, so it's really been a safety hazard. So it's great to have them in the community.
It is wonderful to have them because there's cars do speed down this street right much, and so it is safer now for them to be on this side.
And let's talk a little bit about the crime issue in the community and the safety issue. Have you seen a difference in the last 5 years in the decrease in crime in your community?
I think so. I believe so. Yes, it's been a decrease.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
Do you attribute that to your strong neighborhood organization and the Building Blocks program?
I think so because we try to talk about this in our meetings. We have our neighbors to look after each other, and we talk about this in each meeting. I try to make sure that they realize that we supposed to be the eyes for our neighbors, and we're supposed to look after each other. If you see something going astray or something wrong, report it or call your neighbor. You know, let us be abreast of whatever's going on. So I think that's helped us a lot.
Wonderful. And we talked about the improvements. I think you said one of your neighbors' homes has been remodeled.
Right next door to me, and it looks good. It looked very good.
And your thoughts as you ride up Broad and down Ross, and you see many of the homes that have been refurbished and some new structures that even have been built. What goes through your mind as you see your community transformed over the last 5 years?
Well, one thing, I'm just grateful that it's happening. I just come through Ross Street, and I was looking at the improvements and see where the men are out there finishing up. It looked really good. It looked different from what it's been over the past few years.
Right.
But it looked good, and it looked like somebody ought to move into those homes. Because they are beautiful homes.
That's the goal, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, we are moving into another area. We're expanding our Building Blocks program to the White Rock community. So I wanted to get your insight for those individuals in that community who may be watching our show today. What advice do you have for that community organization in the White Rock area as we move forward in the Building Blocks program there?
I advise them to just come together, work together, and try to improve their neighborhood as well, because it helps you and it helps the individual, and it just helps the community. So I advise them to just work really hard, because it is hard work. It's not easy, but it's good. It pays off.
Absolutely.
It's good work.
You really can see the benefits, can't you?
You can. Right. Yeah, just walk through our neighborhood.
Ms. Wilson, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, and thank you for all your hard work, as I mentioned, in the neighborhood organization here in Westmoreland, and we look forward to seeing the continued growth of your community here. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Well, Diane, before we wrap up on this week's show, I do want to highlight some of the other homes that you do have for sale in the area. And we're actually standing beside some of the beautiful rose bushes that were planted here about 5 years ago, and it just really adds to the landscape of the area. You can see Broad here behind us. But, Diane, tell me a little bit about some of the other homes that you have for sale.
Good. I'm glad we have the opportunity, because we're anxious to get these into home ownership. But we have one on Doe Street, and each of these houses has been fully renovated. The one on Doe is at 518. It's a 1,017 square foot home listed for $79,000. It's got 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. Again, Energy Star appliances, new central heat and air. We have one at 325 Ross, which is listed at $89,000. That's a little over 1,400 square feet, 3 bedroom again. We have at 403 Ross, which is a smaller home, 1,100 square feet, which is listed for $59,000. 240 Cleveland, a nice big historic house, almost 1,600 square feet, listed for $64,900. 162 Broad, which is a large historic colonial home, built in 1904. We've improved the exterior, but it used to be a quadplex, and we want a potential buyer to renovate that back to a single-family home. And that's listed because it is just the shell at $44,900. We have one on Holbrook, $79,000. That's almost 1,500 square feet. That's 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, 2-story home. And the last one we have is 218 Broad. This is a large home, 1,850 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, 76.9. So I think you can see with the prices, knowing that these homes have been fully renovated, there's some great opportunities out there.
And you all have done a wonderful job renovating these homes. As we have seen in one of the homes we've already visited on today's show, some wonderful renovations have been done. So can they just contact your office and you'll get in touch with a realtor?
The agent for these is Prudential Manasco Realty. They're our listing agent, so you can call us or Carl Manasco's office, and we're anxious to share these with the public.
Great. Well, Diane, thanks again so much for coming on today's show and talking to us about the success story of the Building Blocks program, and we look forward to following the progress over in the White Rock community as you all continue to succeed in that area as well.
Thanks, Mark. We appreciate it.
All right. And thank you at home for watching. Until next week, have a great day.